Vanity Fair, of all places, coming out with a brand new article I wanted to share with you. Idaho murders as a small town grapples with sinister rumors. Media's true crime obsession grows. It's called.
What's up, guys? Real quick, True Crime King back again. Doing a Tyler Feller reaction. He said Justin, he's got some behind the scenes on Kohberger case. So I guess he's got some behind the scenes on this case. So we're about to find out, right? Here we go.
Called Vanity Fair in Cold Blood. It basically is painting the picture that there are certain YouTube channels and true crime stations like News Nation making a killing of money off of
Ashley Banfield.
Small town true crime situation. So I'll be interested to get your perspective on it. It says, while social media puts forth speculation and false information, channels like News Nation are making a name in true crime.
Truth and Transparency thought she stole an interview from News Nation with that Justin guy. Well, that's what she said. Her exact words were, "I can't let Ashley Banfield get all of the interviews." I don't know.
Coverage, and there you can see Bryan. I mean, this article is going to feature Bryan Entin quite a bit. There he is filming a news piece out in the street. Corner Club picture of Bryan Kohberger himself. Corner Club obviously is the club that we saw Madison and Kaylee at.
Yeah, and they were with I think both Jacks.
The night of the murder.
And the owner of the bar that a lot of people thought was the chief of police. They do look alike.
Corner Club owner Mark Trivelpiece was starting to hate reporters. As a rule, he condemns violence. Anyone who throws punches in the Corner Club gets booted. But 3 weeks into the media storm surrounding the murders of 4 college kids in his town, Trivelpiece was beginning to think that people don't get punched in the face enough. On November 13th, Ethan Chapin, Xander Conoto, Kaylee Gonsalves, and Madison Mogan had been stabbed to death.
I mean, people like Kohberger deserve to get punched in the face a lot, in my opinion. I can't say much, beyond that because of YouTube, but you know where I'm going, right?
In the girl's off-campus house in Moscow, home to the University of Idaho. Trivelpiece's bar is where 2 of the victims, Gonsalves and Mogan, spent their last evening on Earth. When the murders made news, the media swarmed, and Trivelpiece's business in particular came under siege. "I want Corner Club to be famous," he said, "but not for this." When reporters barged in, talking about the murders in such a casual way, Trivelpiece was like, "Whatever you guys want to talk about at home is fine, but their friends, the victims, are sitting right there, so let's not do this." He turned down location fees from NBC, ignored calls from TMZ, banished journalists from as far away from the London Telegraph, but they kept coming. And someone claiming to be Fox News had recently followed a Corner Club employee's roommate to work.
Yeah, I mean, those guys, they get paid to get storage, right? So they're gonna do everything they can to try and get some exclusive on the story. I mean, this case was and probably still is, besides the Murdaugh case, the biggest case in America, right?
Like other Moscow business owners, Trivelpiece's workforce and customer base are heavily composed of students who make up about half of the town's population. After the murders, Fox estimated that 25 to 40% of those murders fled home. There was a killer on the loose. But Trivelpiece wondered if media harassment played a role in the mass exodus. How many students aren't going to come back because Fox News is sitting out in front of their house?
Well, it's hard to just pick up and sell your house and move everything. I mean, not everybody can do that, right? I mean, there can't be too many people that can just leave their house, cut their rental agreement, and just leave. Unless you got some money, right?
Trivelpiece knew I was media as soon as I walked into this bar. The tell was not just that he didn't recognize me. Trivelpiece isn't great with names, he says, but he knows most patriotic patrons by their drink orders, Busch Light, whiskey and coke, keeps the straws, but more so that newcomers usually take a moment to admire the impressive collection of sports memorabilia, whereas my eyes went straight to the security cameras. Before agreeing to speak with me, he asked for my driver's license and said about making sure that I was not with Fox News. He said, "We're in mourning, and we're a small town."
If you work for one of those news stations like Fox News, does it say it on your driver's license? So he's saying he wanted to see his driver's license to make sure he wasn't Fox News. Why would that be on his driver's license, right? If you know anything about that, put it in the comments for me.
And we know what's going to happen. You guys are going to go home and you're going to write your story. And if you write something that maybe puts us in a negative light, it doesn't matter to you, but it matters to us. And we have to sit around and deal with the repercussions of that and explain to the rest of the community, I was misquoted, or they didn't understand what I was saying. And we don't want to do that. We just want to be there for each other right now. The bar's only rule was don't be mean to each other. In a single day, Triple Piece had thrown out 11 reporters. The problem was he could not be thrown out in the invisible army of internet trolls who followed those reporters, and exponentially more of them flocked to his social media pages and the pages of his employees every time the Corner Club was mentioned in the news.
Damn, that's got to be annoying though, having to throw over 11 employees, and that's just when this was written. I'm sure they're gonna keep coming, right?
He'd read Reddit threads that painted Moscow as a dark, depressing town because the sun set at 4:30 p.m. Well, we didn't choose when or where our time zone borders are, Triple Piece said. Mike Gambellani had left a Google review of the bar saying that these girls, Kaylee and Maddie, told me that their food is to die for. Triple Piece's staff member, Adam, was doxxed.
Well, you did choose to stay there and live there, right?
And harassed after news networks aired security camera footage of Gonsalves and Mogan walking around downtown Moscow talking about someone named Adam. They want to click on their TikTok or their YouTube or whatever, said Triple Piece, referring to reporters and internet trolls that followed in their wake. All social media's done is make idiots realize they're not alone. Other local businesses face similar scrutiny. He said, my stuff isn't bad right now. Texted Triple Piece's buddy Jeff Smitty, who owns Moscow Bagel and Deli down the road.
And real quick, I guess he's just reading this whole thing, so, you know, I don't have to do it. He's doing it for us, right?
At the time, Smith was paying twice the price for 20% less profit at night. He decided to keep his store double-staffed after dark, hoping to make his young employees feel safer and insulate them from the ongoing media harassment. Instead, the store was getting bombarded and borderline terrorized, in Smith's words, by acolytes of YouTube psychic Reverend Donna, who told her 46,000 subscribers that the Moscow murderer, whoever that was at the time, there were no suspects arrested, baked his own bread at a bread place, possibly owned by said murderer's parents. Since posting the video, she's gained more than 10,000 subscribers. I don't make my own bread, Smith said. I don't have a son. I've never married. I've never had a child. But it was no use. The messages and comments and posts proliferated. Visits to the company Facebook page soared from 243 to 231,000.
Yeah, that's a big difference, right? Over 200,000 more.
For failing to turn his non-existent son Smith received a suspicious catering order from Douchey Coward Inc. Triple Piece, a University of Idaho alum, was hanging out with his bulldogs, Matilda and Sarge, when one of his buddies reached out to say the Corner Club was on TV, this time on News Nation, on Banfield.
Oh, of course, Banfield.
Whom readers might remember from her MSNBC coverage of the 9/11 attacks, and who is now a more sotto voce Nancy Grace. It was December 12th. A news banner read, Day 29, killer is still on the loose.
Nancy Grace, she doesn't hold back, right? She says how she feels. I kind of like that.
Banfield's somber face was left in a triptych of live shots. Opposite,
because that's what I do.
A slideshow of the Corner Club, the side of the building, the neon business sign. Stage center, 37-year-old News Nation reporter Bryan Entin, a tan, attractive man with gray, thick hair. The Corner Club, Banfield intoned. That's where Kaylee and Maddie were. Yeah, Entin looked somber. I've been there. There are a lot of cameras there. There were cameras on the outside and cameras on the inside. And as far as I can tell, I went inside. The bartender wouldn't talk, but I saw the cameras with my own eyes. Idiot, Triple Piece thought. When Entin descends on a town, he brings with him more than 444,000 Twitter followers and counting, nearly 8 times the size of Reverend Donna Safira's fan base. Which, guys, by the way, for the record, anybody who calls himself a psychic is not a reverend. Those things are incongruent. You can't be a psychic and also be a Christian reverend at the same time, despite what she says. So every time I hear something about her, it really bothers me. Many of them started following.
Yeah, I'm not gonna speak on that. You guys have your own opinions about that. Some people believe in psychics, some people don't. I'm on the fence, right?
Entin over the course of his 2021 reporting on Gabby Petito. Prior to that, Entin had about 20,000 followers. Entin's reporting on Petito also earned him the nickname of News Daddy. In a Reddit sub devoted to him, Entin fans rave News Daddy is the only daddy you need, and dude grinds for sure. On November 28th, 15 days after the murder, Entin arrived in Moscow and drove straight to the crime scene in a huge black rented SUV they called the Big Premium Daddy.
Big Daddy, huh?
In weeks prior, he'd been chasing candidates and stuff like Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock. Entin didn't mind covering politics, but acknowledged that they were not my passion. Part of what he likes about the crime stuff is that it tends to be apolitical, especially when the crime is unsolved. This, he said, referencing to the murders, is a little bit of a break from that. At 12:24 a.m., Entin opened Twitter Live. Multicolor hearts exploded from the lower right. Comments came. Hi from Maryland, you're the best reporter. Australia. Hey everybody, Entin said. He kept his iPhone angled at the crime scene. Police line do not cross tape wrapped around the property, draped across stones and poles and trees and garbage cans, over fuse boxes and door jams. I just wanted to get on here real quick and let you guys know that we made it to Moscow. This is the house where the murders happened. Had to be an inside job. Please find out where Jack lives. Give him a visit.
They say it had to be an inside job. So if it was an inside job, who do you think on the inside helped them, right? I think if it was an inside job, like this guy was suggesting, it would have had to be Dylan, right? And that's who I would assume if it was an inside job. If you guys agree, hit the like button. If you think it was somebody else, let me know in the comments. Again, total speculation. This is a what-if scenario.
Entin's followers meant Jack Showalter, a University of Idaho student who'd walk Megan and Gonzalez from the Corner Club to food truck hours before their deaths. Now web sleuths were convinced that Showalter was the killer. Moscow police had not dignified the conspiracy by naming Showalter, referencing him on the King Road homicide updates as the male in the grub truck video.
I mean, he was definitely a suspect before Kohberger was, right? I mean, I'm sure everybody close to Kaylee and Maddie, Xana, Ethan, they were all suspects. It wasn't just Jack, but he was just talked about because he was in a food truck video, right? I mean, that was 2 hours before they were killed, and nobody knew about Kohberger at the time, right?
Under the heading, at the time of the investigation, detectives do not believe the following are involved in this crime. In just a few days, News Nation would send a producer to Showalter's house, where a neighbor allegedly...
Wow, they said people everywhere, News Nation and Banfield, right?
intercepted that producer and sent him away. So extreme was the harassment, both on and offline, that the whole neighborhood seemed to be rallying around the family.
Wow.
Before signing off, Entin reminded his followers, there is a murderer on the loose.
There was, yeah.
Over the next 2 weeks, Entin maintained a solemn tone, staring at the camera while snow accumulated on his shoulders, and forced himself to look comfortable, even though, just like during his hurricane and tropical storm coverage, he'd reported on Ian, Sally, Michael, Irma, Matthew, Herman, Dorian, Etta, Laura, Ida, and Erica.
It's a lot of hurricanes, right?
He almost felt like he was going to die. Half of it is just like stamina, Entin said. It's not about being smart. Despite his long johns, which Entin was still getting used to, it's just a weird thing. like my legs are cozy. I feel like a penguin. He was freezing. So was his cameraman, Mo Morin. Their producer, Lauren Powell, sucked on a fireball to stay warm. Between segments on Banfield, they retreated for warmth.
Yeah, it was Banfield.
To the Daddy Wagon, where they listened to their team anthem, Kiss from a Rose. The SUV was a tangle of paper towels, hand warmers, liquid Robitussin, and Powell's bag of hard candy. Entin refused her offer of a lollipop, remembering the time that he'd reported live outside Mar-a-Lago with a green tongue.
Real quick, I just wanted to give a shout out. Hi, Kara. Shout out. Sorry. She requested a shout out.
On December 4th, I flew to Moscow to watch Entin's first ever special. I'm going to be much better to talk to after today, he promised. I'm kind of crazy right now, like I'm nervous. When I asked if he usually feels nervous before live shows, he shook his head. Normally, I do feel normal. In his hotel room, Entin prepared for the special while Fox News played on TV. He always kept something on, toggling between stations to make sure nobody else was getting the scoop. For now, Entin was safe. The Fox pundits were shouting about how reparations for slavery are racist.
All right, I'm going to skip a little bit, see if...
So don't judge me for like the next 4 hours.
There's some more.
He proceeded to rehearse his lines, cycling through Sultan were significantly more brutal than Mogan's. In the absence of any new... Entin's Idaho Murder Mystery Special report contained exclusive interviews and one shocking detail. Gonsalves's injuries were significantly more brutal than Mogan's.
Wow, so why? I mean, we kind of knew that already, right? Apparently, Kohberger put his knife somewhere that it shouldn't, that nobody really stabs anybody there, you know what I'm saying? I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. That was reported. Why do you think Kaylee's injuries were like that? Why do you think Kohberger did that? Allegedly Kohberger. Or whoever did it, right? And didn't do it to anybody else. Let me know in the comments.
In the absence of any new updates from police, sleuths took off running with what Entin had to offer. Internet sleuths are on the case, Entin said in his special. We are talking about the armchair detectives, people who sift through social media for any possible clue, and in the vacuum of information from Moscow police, their voices are louder than ever. Web sleuths earned their moniker in 1999 on a site by the same name, but their movement arguably released a pinnacle during the 2010 to 2012 crime at the center of Don't F with Cats, a docuseries about the online manhunt for Luka Magnotta.
Oh, Luka Magnotta. I'm going to do a video on him. He's a piece of crap shit. I don't know if any of you saw that video, but that dude, that man, if there ever was somebody for the death penalty, that man should get the down. Do a Wikipedia search on Luka Magnotta. He is probably one of the most despicable human beings that's ever walked or lived.
Magnotta, who posted videos of himself killing cats before graduating to homicide. In that case, sleuths succeeded where police had failed, bolstering their reputation as capable detectives. According to media scholars, historical examples such as Magnotta helped to fuel a fantasy further energized by the rise of participatory media culture, that audience members are viewers with a job to do. Since then, crime reporters have been in competition with a new breed of paparazzo. While reporting on Petito from her killer's lawn, Entin found himself shoulder to shoulder with vigilante civilians and social media influencers like Bullhorn Betty, who would later upload 3 videos about one of the Moscow victim's surviving roommates, featuring a thumbnail image of Xana Kernodle's face with the words, "Why didn't you save me?" Like many sleuths, Betty's methods seem unscrupulous. She reports rumors and perpetuates harassment of innocent people.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Why didn't you save me? I mean, come on. How could anybody have known that, right?
But for the practical reasons, Entin has needed to find a way to coexist with people like her. He said, "I just want to get my job done every day." He told me, refusing to speak ill of Betty in part, he jokes, "because I don't want her showing up to my house with a bullhorn." More seriously, Entin said that it's not up to him whether sleuths have earned their place among trained reporters. The reality is that the
All
digital
right, hold on.
ecosystem
Let's
elevates
see
the
if there's
voices
any
of
more
specialists
inside
to
information.
keep scrolling, to keep posting. Perhaps that's why Kohberger's arrest brings less closure to sleuths than one might anticipate. In our internet-addicted brains, it seems productive to skip past endings and repost whatever fresh allegations we've just read, misguided by the truth that social media is a tool for social justice. In reality, studies show that screens lower our empathy, increasing the tendency toward cruelty, which can camouflage online as heroin.
Tell you what, Tyler, that was a long fucking piece you read. I give you credit on that one. Dedication.
Injustice on Demand, True Crime in the Digital Streaming by Dr. Tanya. She wrote, the notion that audiences can participate in true crime has, of course, always been a feature of genre, because it offers a metaphorical seat in the jury box. What is different about today's crime audience, Horrocks says, is their expectation that the genre is literally going to be interactive, that justice is something that can be accessed through binge watching. There's something deeply human about this fascination with crime. The central enigma of murderous death, a painful reality that comes from us all, and one that we instinctively fight throughout our lives, differentiating ourselves from victims like Mortensen and her housemates by judging their choices and hunting their killers, as if it protects them from random acts of violence.
Yeah, hindsight's always 20/20, right? I mean, we can all say why didn't they do this? They should have done it. I mean, we don't. Nobody's ever gonna know exactly what everybody was doing at the exact moment and how they were feeling and what Cobra actually said and did and how he did it. You know, we're only gonna know parts of it, right?
But whatever we might learn at Bryan Kohberger's trial, there can never be a tolerable explanation of what happened to Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Entin. We want to believe in social media's immense power to reverse or at least rectify injustices. The alternative is that we've brought into a massive conspiracy, surfing and shaming and buying, fooled by the idea that our addiction to screens is productive and virtuous. Never mind the destruction we leave in our wake.
Damn, yeah, it's pretty powerful. That was kind of the meat and potatoes of it. But yeah, that's the end of Tyler's video here. And just in case anybody's wondering, I have no, I like Tyler. I don't think he's a clown. Oh, did you see that the drunk turkeys? They got another thing wrong. I might do a video about that. But yeah, just be careful getting your news from them. But hit the like button for me. I would appreciate you. And until next time, guys, True Crime King out.